Okay, so have you ever ordered something online and it just like magically appears the next day?
Yeah, I think we all have.
It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Like there's some serious behind the scenes action happening to make that happen.
Right. It's like a well-oiled machine we don't even see.
Exactly. And that, my friend, is the world of operations management. We're diving deep into that today.
I'm excited to dig in.
We've got this textbook chapter here, and to be honest, it's not exactly a thriller, but it's full of this kind of hidden information making things work that we all need to know.
You're right. It's easy to overlook the importance of operations management.
Like, who's really thinking about how their favorite coffee shop is set up, right? But someone put a lot of thought into it so you don't have to wait in line forever.
It's all about making things run smoothly.
Yeah.
And, did you know that almost half of all jobs globally are connected to operations in some way?
Seriously. Wow. That just goes to show you how important this stuff really is.
Absolutely. So let's get into it. What does operations management even mean?
Right. Well, this chapter defines operations management as basically making sure customers are happy. It's like planning and watching over stuff to get things done.
Yeah, and making those processes as efficient as possible, whether it's building a product or delivering a service.
So it's not just about big factories and assembly lines.
Not at all. Think about that coffee shop again. The way they lay out the space, the ingredients they order, how they train their staff, all of that is operations management in action.
So even like where they put the sugar in the lids?
Yeah, it all impacts the customer's experience. It's about making each step in the process as good as it can be.
Gotcha. And this chapter talks about eliminating waste.
Right, and not just physical waste. Think about wasted time or wasted effort. Operations management tries to get rid of all of that.
Okay, now I see how this relates to me. Like when you have a million things to do and you don't know where to start.
Exactly. That's where the principles of operations management come in. You can streamline your own to-do list, eliminate decision fatigue, just like a business would.
So you're telling me there's a method to the madness. Like I can actually use this stuff to organize my life.
Exactly. And you know what's cool? The book talks about this thing called operations research.
Operations research sounds kind of intense.
It does, right? But it's really just about using data to figure out the best way to do something. Like imagine a detective for processes.
A process detective. Okay.
Now you've got my attention.
So think about like Google Maps, right? It uses all this data to find the fastest route. Operations research is kind of similar. It's like, how can we use data to make this whole operation, whatever it is, run as smoothly as possible?
That makes sense. So it's like finding the most efficient way to get things done.
You got it. I actually worked with a company once, and they were having all these problems with their warehouse. Their shipments were taking forever.
Oh, no.
I
I bet they thought they needed a bigger warehouse.
Right. That's exactly what they thought. But we dug into their data, and you know what it was.
What? Tell me it wasn't the warehouse. It wasn't. It was their layout. All the popular items were scattered everywhere, so the workers were wasting a ton of time just walking around. We reorganized everything based on what the data told us, put the most popular stuff closer to the packing area. Problem solved.
That's amazing. Just a little data analysis, and bam. So much faster. Probably saved them money, too.
For sure. And that reminds me, this chapter also talked about quality assurance.
Oh, yeah. Quality assurance. Making sure things are, well, good.
Exactly. Because it doesn't matter how fast you are if the quality isn't there, customers won't be happy.
It's like they always say, you can't put lipstick on a pig.
Exactly. It's about building quality into every single step, from the beginning to the very end.
And to do all of that, you need a good team, right? That's going to be a huge part of operations management, like managing the people.
Absolutely.
Oh.
It doesn't matter how good your tech is. At the end of the day, it's people who make it all work.
Yeah, making sure everyone is on the same page, knows what they need to do.
Right. And one more thing I thought was interesting, the textbook talked about adaptability.
Oh, adaptability. Because
Okay.
things are constantly changing,
Yeah.
right? Especially with technology and everything.
Exactly. You got to be able to keep up or you get left behind. Like, remember when everyone listened to CDs?
Vaguely. I'm not that old.
My point. Exactly.
Yeah.
The music industry had to change. And fast. The companies that didn't adapt, well, they're gone.
So it's like survival of the fittest, but for businesses, adapt or die.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But here's the really interesting part. It's not just about surviving. It's about thriving. The textbook argues that adaptability is key to really making the most of change.
So instead of being afraid of change, we should be like, bring it on.
Exactly. See it as a chance to learn and grow, just like those music companies that figured out how to sell digital music.
So we've gone from like literally unpacking boxes to this whole philosophical thing about change and growth. Who knew operations management could be so deep?
Right. It's like this hidden framework for making anything better, from a huge company to just like your daily routine.
So what you're saying is we're all kind of like operations managers in our own lives.
Exactly. We just don't realize it. And the best part is you don't need like a business degree or anything to use these ideas.
Hmm.
It's really about taking a step back and looking at your life, your work, whatever, and asking yourself some questions.
Like what? Give me an example. What's one question people can ask themselves?
Well, think about where you feel the most stuck. Is it your email inbox that never seems to empty? Is it figuring out dinner every night? Maybe it's getting the kids ready in the morning, that whole chaos.
Find the bottleneck.
Exactly. Figure out what that thing is that's slowing you down. And then think, okay, what can I do about it? Can I group similar tasks together? Do I need to get better at asking for help? Maybe there's an app that can automate something.
So it's about being like efficient, but in your whole life, not just at work.
Exactly. And the cool thing is, even tiny changes can make a difference over time. You don't have to overhaul your whole life overnight.
Little by little, it's all about constantly trying to improve, right?
Exactly. Always be on the lookout for ways to do things better.
Well, on that note, I think we've given everyone a lot to think about today. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into operations management. See you next time.